of grew up with the culture of if a guy asks you to dance, you say yes because because he had to work up the courage to ask you to dance, which is a really scary thing. Like I get it, that's terrifying. Or like if a guy asks you on a date, and even if you're not really interested, you should still say yes to give him a chance because you never know. So I wanted to ask what you guys think of that culture of not really saying no,
I
even if you're like
never.
going into something not being interested, if that makes sense.
That's interesting. I never like had that
I,
pressure or felt that. I know that learning to say no was a really big and important lesson for me, and it was something that I learned on my own. So it wasn't necessarily like taught one way or the other for me.
absolutely. Yeah, I definitely like I had that experience of if he asks you on a date, say yes. If he asks you to dance, say yes. And I feel like, I mean, looking at it back then, it wasn't as big of a deal as looking at like, I mean, you have the rape culture now and like not being able to give consent or learning how to say no and how important it is to have your own agency to say no in a situation that you don't want to be in. And like I had an experience where I went on a date and I was really excited to go on this date. And the whole time I just had this feeling in my stomach where I was just like, I'm not safe in this situation. But my people pleasing mind was just like, oh yeah, we'll just go on this date and we'll just be fine. And I mean, it like I legitimately thought this guy was going to kill me. Like it had serial killer vibes for sure. But I ignored my own thoughts and my own agency and my own consent because of that position I was put in to say yes to this guy and to go on this date and to see who he really is. But and I feel like being taught that is very damaging in a way. Like yeah, you should always give somebody a chance, but if you're just not feeling it, then you don't need to do it.
Yeah, I grew up the same way, like especially stake dances because we're 14, and so like I think I just said like in the beginning it wasn't as bad. Like the younger you are, the less world around you is corrupt, or at least you're more hidden from it. But like definitely since I'd gotten older and started having boyfriends, the no was very, and I definitely think it's something that I feel like almost our Utah culture is afraid to talk about a lot of things. Like you said, like the rape culture and like sexual assault and anything to do with sex, really. I feel like a lot of parents and they'll talk about it, but not really as in depth as people may need before they have to learn it on their own. And like, so I definitely think like now at college, like I'll tell whoever I want no because I don't owe them anything. Of course, I think being respectful and a decent human being is an obligation, but I do think as you get older, guys are scarier. Some are great, some are, or even girls can be scary. It works both ways. If there's any fear of your safety or that they're going to do anything to you, shut that down because we're not doing that. We already learned our lesson.
Yeah.
I found that there's two different kinds of LDS guys when it comes to dating. The ones that are, very respectful and wonderful and will hold your hand first before going in for the kiss, right? And then there are the other ones that I don't like contribute this towards the religion. It's definitely the person that chooses this way. But like they'll use the religion against you. And they'll be very forceful or very sexual because they feel like restraint and they didn't like learn to like maintain that balance. Yeah. And I've had, a guy that was like, oh, I didn't feel comfortable. I crossed this line and now you need to go talk to your bishop about it. And I'm going to tell my parents about it. And I was like, whoa. And yeah, so for sure they can really make you feel awful and use the religion against you for things that they insinuated,
Yeah.
Guys be doing that? Guys be doing that? I didn't know. To use religion.
Yeah, they'll use it against you.